I want to enlighten not only the newbies, but pretty much everybody on marketing, pretty much for real estate. Because as a real estate agent or investor, you're a marketer. That's just is what it is. Unless you're just the go-to person in your market who just has everybody bring you leads and deals and things like that, then you're a marketer. And the way that most people are doing marketing, it's just sad when I see it, honestly. It's really sad. So I just pretty much want to go over what's wrong with most people's marketing. I'm not going to go into depth in the right way in this video. In the next video, I'm going to post more, and I will go over pretty much the right way. I do marketing for my clients. I own a marketing company. So, I know a thing or two about marketing. So in the next videos, I'm going to go pretty much over my methodology in the right ways. But in this, I'm going to go over what's wrong and some of the ways you could fix it. So first of all, let's just stop. Just stop with the old, outdated tactics. Now, before I say this, let me say that I'm not saying this stuff doesn't work. Bandit signs, direct mail, cold calling, driving for dollars, door knocking. I'm not saying that stuff doesn't work, because there's some people that's, crushing it and killing it with those methods. There's some people that's still doing multiple deals per month with those methods. So I'm not saying at all that they just don't work. And by all means, if you're doing those methods and you're killing it, or you're actually doing deals, you're actually getting good response rates from your direct mail, you're actually doing deals, then by all means, like they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I said that right. I did say that right. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So by all means, if you're doing it and you're still doing deals, then definitely keep going. But there's definitely way better, more efficient, effective, and more leveraged methods that you could be doing. So, and if you're not only a newbie, but anybody, I would say focus on building relationships, especially if you're a newbie. Especially if you're a newbie who's starting off with and don't have a lot of capital or money to put into marketing. Build your connections. Build your buyer list, and build connections with real estate agents, other investors, other wholesalers who are already doing deals, title companies, probate attorneys, property management companies. Build strategic relationships with them. And if you're getting leads from all of them, but of course you have to be able to add value to them. You have to be able to add value to them. You have to be able to add value to your marketplace. So you have to know your stuff. It doesn't matter if everybody's sending you leads if you don't even know how to run your numbers right, or you suck at sales and don't even know how to, because you could be doing the best marketing in the world and having everybody also send you leads. But if you suck at sales and, different things like that and running your numbers, it doesn't really matter. That's not obviously the only way to add value. Add value by genuinely wanting to help people. Don't just focus on yourself. Help them make money also, so they can help you make money. So focus on building strategic relationships and adding value to those relationships and the marketplace. But especially for you experienced investors and wholesalers, if you're doing all these old, outdated methods, stop. Let the newbies who come in where the gurus are teaching them to do all this stuff, let them go out and put out all the bandit signs and make all the cold calls, send all the direct mail, go driving for dollars, door knocking. Let them do that. Even if you're a newbie, you can let the other newbies do that stuff who are learning this stuff from the gurus. Let them do that stuff. And then when they get leads, you joint venture with them. If they don't have a buyer's list, but they're doing all this stuff getting leads, then there you go. You could build a relationship with them, have them send you the leads and joint venture with them. So let them do all these methods, and then you just joint venture with them. Same thing with the other types of relationships, probate attorneys, etc. Work on your positioning, build strategic relationships with them, and be able to add value to them so they're sending you leads. And you may not even have to do marketing. But now if you're going to do marketing, you're going to do these old school tactics. Like I said, in the next video, I'm going to go over my methodology and pretty much how to dominate. You could dominate online and offline. I mainly specialize in digital marketing, but I study marketing, period. So in the next video, I'll go into depth into my methodology and my funnels and all that. But if you're going to do the old school tactics, bandit signs and direct mail, then at least do it the right way. First of all, bandit signs, every bandit sign in the world says we buy houses. At least change up your positioning or the way you word it. I don't know. This is just off the top of my head, but even something as simple as like, I don't know, sell your house fast, we buy houses and solve problems, and then the phone number. That actually may be too long for a bandit sign because people, you really, with your marketing, that's another thing. You have to understand the psychology of marketing no matter what method you're doing. So with bandit signs, people can't really stop and, read everything. So you have to think about that as well. It really just comes down to the psychology of it. But just change your positioning. If your banner sign says we buy houses, this is the same as every other banner sign in the world. And another thing, the reason me personally I don't like banner signs is because for one, they all say the same thing. And then two, they're illegal. So who wants to do, even if you're getting deals from them, don't get me wrong, if you're doing deals from them, okay. But who wants to, me personally, I don't want to do marketing methods that everybody else is doing. We all are saying the same thing. It's illegal in most places or against code. I have to, if I put out banner signs today, I have to worry about, at least within the next few days, city code enforcement or whatever is going to come pull them up. Who wants to do that type of marketing? Or even your competition, other wholesalers and investors, other agents may come by and pick them up. I've heard stories of that. They call other agents or wholesalers pulling their signs up. So who wants to do a marketing method where somebody could just go pull your sign up? Your competition, the city code enforcement is going to do it. It's illegal. You're all saying the same thing. But like I said, if you're going to do it, at least do it right. At least don't say we buy houses. Work on your wording. Also, same thing with direct mail. If you're using the same template that the gurus are giving or that the free templates that you get online, every other investor and wholesaler is using those templates. And you got to think, if you're all mailing to the same list, sellers are getting 5 to 10 letters, if not more, from investors, and they all say the same thing because you're all using the same templates. So work on your own wording. Try to think of the psychology of a seller. The problems that sellers are facing, try to touch on that and how you genuinely want to help them. And then, make them curious on wanting to call you. Or they may not want to call right away. They may want to do some research online, which is what probably at least 80% of people do nowadays. So if you're going to list your domain, your URL or website on there, then, actually, let me backtrack before I get into that. If you're going to do, let's say you do banner signs and direct mail, if you're using Google Voice numbers, just stop. I understand, if you're a newbie and you don't have a lot of money, you're just trying to break into the game, then you want to keep everything as lean, as tight, and as cheap as possible. But if you're going to do it for the most part, stop with the Google Voice numbers. For one, you can't track it. That's the number one thing in business and marketing. You want to be able to track everything. You want to know what's working, what's not working, to what degree is working, etc. So you want to be able to track everything. With Google Voice numbers, you can't track it, and it just seems kind of scammy. If I'm a seller and I call somebody and I get a Google Voice number, I'm not gonna this isn't a real company. For one, I didn't get anybody's phone number. It's not anybody's real phone. I don't think a company would be using Google Voice. So it just seems a little scammy, that's all. But you could use CallRail. I think Ring Central does it as well, but I know for a fact CallRail gives you call tracking numbers. So what you want to do is, if you're using banner signs and direct mail, you want to have a call tracking number for your banner signs and a call tracking number for your direct mail, so you can know where your leads are coming from. And if you notice that you're putting out, let's say, 20 banner signs a week and 500 letters a month, and you're not getting any of the calls from banner signs, stop. Banner signs are cheap, but still, you could take the money that you're spending on banner signs and put it all into direct mail. So that would be the first thing. Use call tracking numbers. The second thing would be, I forgot what I was about to say. Oh, direct mail. If you're going to do direct mail, do it the right way as well. The right way to do direct mail is, instead of sending letters from the beginning, you actually want to send postcards first. And I know people are going to say, well, postcards don't convert as well as letters, which definitely may be true. But the reason you want to do that, if this is your first campaign, you have to think, first of all, in sales, you have to touch somebody 4 to 12 times before you may, before they may do business with you. By touch, I mean you have to reach out to them, follow up with them, etc. 4 to 12 times before they may do business with you. So you don't want to send your most expensive thing on the first time. So the goal of sending a postcard isn't to necessarily get a deal. It's just to establish that first touch. And not only that, but if you're getting these leads on these lead list online, a lot of times you're going to get return mail. Some of the addresses are going to be wrong. So why start off with your most expensive thing when you know you're going to get return mail, and you know you may have to follow up with that person multiple times, send multiple waves of mailers. So start off with postcards, which are like twice as cheap, just to establish that first touch. When you get the return mail, you then, a lot of people just throw those away. You go ahead and skip trace those. So you send direct mail to your entire list. The return mail, you go ahead and skip trace and cold call. And for the ones that don't get returned, obviously the addresses are good. And then at that time, that's when you go ahead and start sending letters. And like I said, work on your own wording and don't use the templates that the gurus are giving you. And if you're going to post your website URL to where they go check out your website, you want to have what's called a tracking pixel. So install your Facebook tracking pixel. You can install Google Analytics. And also, if you have a Facebook business page, which you probably should if you're making this to a business, set up your ad manager on Facebook if you haven't already. They give you what's called a pixel, which is a piece of code. Install that on your site. And even if let's say they check out your site, but they don't enter their info or call you with that pixel, you can then retarget them with ads on Facebook. So that's pretty much that. If you're going to do the old school methods, at least do it right. Now, I can definitely show you guys how to dominate with these methods as well as with digital marketing and, strategic relationship building. Like I said, I'm going to go more into depth in this is just the old school ways, and how to do those correctly. In the next video that I'm going to post, I'm going to go into depth into my digital marketing, my online marketing methodologies and funnels and whatnot. But if you guys pretty much want to learn all of this as well as the digital marketing methodologies that I do and funnels and everything, then there's going to be a link in the description underneath the video to my course. And, it's cheap. It's not going to be, $997, $497, anything like that. Like the gurus, I definitely want to make it as affordable as possible because I genuinely want everybody, especially the newbies, to learn the right ways to do things. Now, me, I do wholesaling, but I've taken time off to focus on my marketing business. So I don't teach how to actually structure deals, the contracts, all of that, because I'm not going to pretend to be like an expert on real estate itself, even though I have done some deals and I do know how to structure deals and the contracts and things like that. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert in contracts and deal structuring itself. So that I don't teach. I definitely recommend, finding a mentor for that or, just partnering with people who are more experienced. But if you want to learn marketing, then I can definitely show you that part. That I definitely can show you. Like I said, I do marketing for my clients and everything. So, that I definitely can teach you. And like I said, I made it as affordable as possible for everybody. Just because I know when I was getting started, pretty much in wholesaling and everything like that, I would check out these webinars and, the courses would be like $1,000. And I'm like, I'm working a regular job, pretty much living paycheck to paycheck, haven't done my first deal yet. Like I don't have $1,000 to pay for a course, so I definitely, feel that. So, the goal of this course, obviously, do I want to get paid for it? Of course. Let's just be honest. I'm just being transparent. Of course I do, because like I said, my clients pay me to do marketing for them. So of course, for this course, I do want to get paid. But at the same time, the goal is I genuinely do want to enlighten not only the newbies, but everybody on how to do marketing the correct way. Because like I said, as an investor, a wholesaler, etc., you're a marketer. So if you're going to do marketing, then do it the right way. So definitely check out the link in the description to the course, and I'll show you how to dominate your area and get as many leads as you could possibly. I'm not going to say, what the gurus would probably say, get nonstop leads or more leads than you can handle. I'm not going to say that. You may definitely, especially if you actually put this into action, if you actually, learn this stuff and then put it into action and you have the right budget behind it, you definitely can. But just starting out, I'm not going to imply that you're going to just kill it, but you're definitely going to learn marketing and you're definitely going to be able to get leads and do deals. And, eventually you'll be able to reinvest those profits and you will be able to dominate your dominate your market and, just kill it. And I'm going to pretty much constantly update the course. If you go off and learn, let's just say Facebook ads, for instance, a lot of the courses are outdated. Facebook changes all the time. So some of the stuff you could do before, you're not going to be able to do. Just like a lot of Facebook, for one, a lot of them aren't going to teach you how to do it specifically for real estate. And the ones that do, they teach you the ways that are about to be dead in a second. Like, you go in and target people who are homeowners who are likely to move. Facebook is actually, the reason Facebook knows that stuff is because of third party data providers. And they're getting a lot of slack about that. So they're actually about to remove those options. So you're not going to be able to do those anymore. So you have to strategies and ways that still work. And me being in the marketing industry, I stay up to date on all that stuff. And I'm going to constantly update the course on what's working now. That's one thing. Just think of all the other things. Google, AdWords, and whatnot constantly changes. The SEO, if you're doing SEO, the algorithm for Google changes. All that stuff constantly changes. So most of these courses are outdated. So, and most of them aren't going to teach you this. Even if you find a decent course on marketing for real estate, for one, a lot of the taxes are probably going to be a little outdated. And then two, is going to be probably like $1,000. So you're going to pay like $1,000 for an outdated course, or a course that's soon going to be outdated, very soon. So, I'm not trying to sell you on my course. How to get it if you want to. That's cool. The people around you who do get it, their marketing, I'm not going to say they're just going to be dominating over you, but their marketing is going to be a lot more efficient and effective than yours and more leveraged. But yeah, at least definitely check it out. Like I said, stay tuned for the next video because I'm going to go into depth into my funnels and methodologies and everything like that, especially on the online side, the digital marketing side. So definitely check out that. And I'm trying to keep this video as short as possible, so I'm going to end it now. I know it's probably at least 10 minutes at this point, if not longer. So, definitely, like I said, check out the link in the description for the course, or stay tuned for the next video. You definitely still want to check out the next video, even if you don't want the course, because I'm going to give you at least an overview of the online side, the digital marketing side, how to dominate that way. So stay tuned for that.